My name is John Pipes. I own Pipes Dreams. It's a mural company. Used to be a house painting company, so I've taken most of my experience from house painting and the behavior of paint and knowledge of the chemical composition of paint into murals, which has helped me a lot. Do larger scale art murals for local restaurants, businesses, and private residences. We are at Fizz Ed, which is one of my favorite places. It is a family restaurant and a college place to hang out at night, and it's super awesome. I did an anamorphic mural here, which is the first on a big scale anamorphic work of art I've ever done, and it is meant to be looked at from a side angle. The owners here have been very kind to let me do that. It's a hard sell because it can only be looked at from one perspective, but from that perspective, it looks super 3D and it's super awesome, very different, and it's a lot of math, so they're not exactly fun to execute, but they are awesome, and the end result is super cool and unusual. This one is a tree frog over the Fizz Ed, not logo, it's not the logo, the letters are sinking into the wall and then kind of swinging out of the wall, which I liked a lot, which was the initial premise, and then this was the anamorphic add-on to it. But most of the artwork that I do is light reactive. I like to add illusions or hidden images, but not to like fool the viewer or the customer that's purchasing it to add to the art. So instead of just having one painting, you have multiple paintings in one painting, up to 6 different paintings in one that I can do with different kinds of light. This is my non-commissioned art. Everything that you see here I was not commissioned to do. It was artwork that I wanted to do. A lot of them also are light reactive. Most of them do react in white light, black light, and no light, which would be phosphorus paint. So they look 3 different ways, most of these paintings, but still hold their own in just, normal lighting. This is Town Tavern. This is where I did one of my first murals about 10 years ago. Justin Davis owns upwards of 3 Town Taverns. Bannerell, Glowing Rock, Morganton. I've done almost every mural that he's had commissioned. And here I did the Whiskey Barrel 3D mural that I'm touching up as we speak, but it's about 10 years old. This is one of my favorite places to eat and drink, and also one of my favorite places and one of my favorite people to do murals for. So we are here at Town Tavern Morganton, where I did this plane. I stripped it and put aluminum paint on it and modeled it after a B-52 World War II plane, and made a Wing Knight, is the name of the plane. Did the classic shark's head on it. Then also did the Town Tavern logo. And then on the side we have a Vargas girl from 1935, 45, somewhere in there. One of my favorite projects I've ever done. We put little fake bullet holes in it and stuff to make it look weathered and as if it had been through, war. We here love this thing hanging over everything and worked very hard to put it up. And then I worked very hard to paint it while everything else was being built. So also they've survived the floods, which half its restaurant got washed away, and they've remodeled it. And we're very happy they're back here. I'm very happy that things are going well. But this is by far one of my favorite projects I've ever done. This mural's really old, but I'm very proud that it's still in as good shape as it's in. For doing it for the general populace that frequents this bar at night. One of my favorites I love is the picture of Yosef. Yosef should be about 8'9", 550-pound football playing mountain man. And then ASU football players came in and signed it. I really love how he's mean. That is how Yosef should be perceived. This is by far my favorite Yosef I've ever done. And I've done a lot of them in the high country. This is my favorite. So this right here was the first mural, one of the first murals I did in the high country when I moved back in 2017. And there is no actual wood on this. It's a faux wood grain with faux shadows. So this is spray paint. It's based off of kind of the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air type font. This is RSAH, River Street Ale House. I did this during 2020. A lot of restaurants took that time, that opportunity to remodel, and so I was here doing this and a couple other things for Justin Davis. Did this, and it's one of the most fun murals I did. It was kind of a quick, just a toss up. I really like this one. It's super light reactive. It doesn't glow in the dark, but it is UVA, UVB, black light reactive. It's just something to glow behind the DJ while he does his thing. This is the cover of the 1932 Chicago Times front page when they lifted prohibition. That night, they turned this place, which was a speakeasy, immediately back into a bar. And this is all of the high society and et cetera, everyone that wanted to drink liquor legally in public, all celebrating the fact that you now could. I tried to add some characters. The local menu here is of regulars that used to frequent here because Blowing Rock itself was the only place that had liquor by the drink. My 21st birthday 100 years ago, I had to come to Blowing Rock to get liquor drinks because Boone did not have available. And these are all of the names of people that used to frequent this place. And I tried to kind of face off some of the people in the menu in this mural and make it what it is to be indigenous to Blowing Rock and kind of have a breakfast place where if you need a Bloody Mary, you may have one. This is a mural I did for the Paces. My good friend David Pace, who's a big-time collector of my artwork and a very good friend of mine also. His parents have lived here for a long time, are both professors like my parents at Appalachian State. And they left to go to World's Fair in Raleigh, which they do every year for a couple days. And while they were gone, we surprised them with this mural that he funded and that I did for them because they're just like my parents. I love them very much. And his mom's a big-time gardener. And so we did flowers over that, and then I kind of minced it in and made it just kind of its own thing. But this is one of my favorite murals, and it could be seen from the road down there. And also they can see it, and she gardens around it. And it's one of my favorite pieces, which is technically a residential mural, but it is also available and can be seen by the public. Here at Holistic Health Solutions, my good friend Mike Taylor owns and runs this. It is a #1 dispensary in North Carolina. And I did this mural for him when he was first opening up. This is an Andy Warhol / kind of an anime themed, based off Vampire Hunter D, which is an old school anime that I watched growing up, which was based off of Ninja Scroll and Akira. And that is what I fashioned the bottom half of the mural on. But the top is basically, hemp leaves in an Andy Warhol theme. And it is made to, when he and if he moves locations, can take off the wall. So it's a little chopped up with pinholes in it. But Mike T is one of my biggest collectors of my non-commissioned private art, and also one of the first people I did a mural for here in the high country. We are at Capone's Pizza, New Market Center, Boone, North Carolina. These are murals I did for my good friend Chris, who is the owner and proprietor of Capone's Pizza. I did 5 murals for him. These are silhouette ideal murals. I'm doing another one over here, and I did a giant portrait of Al Capone himself here, which is one of my favorite murals in the high country. This is probably one of the largest left. Has 5 different murals of mine in one place that has not been, it's still standing. This is one of my favorite 3 murals, and of course Audrey Hepburn is my favorite. Did one of her, and it's a 1930s themed pizza joint.